Vego is actually the first brand of metal raised bed that I ever owned. If you've been following me for a while, then you've seen it in pretty much every single garden tour. It's the dark green one that I keep all of my perennial herbs in. And while I had bought that raised bed after doing my own little bit of research, this particular raised bed that I'm putting together today was sent to me by the company for free to review. However, I will let you know, as with all of the reviews that I've been doing on these metal raised garden beds, I am deliberately choosing not to become an affiliate for any one company. So whatever I tell you today about this raised bed will not make me any money. I am really excited that Vego started offering more colors. Back when I was buying from them, there was, I think, 3 colors to choose from: a dark green, a light green, and a white. This raised bed, like many of the others I've reviewed, has a plastic film coating to help protect the paint. Now, I have a lot of mixed feelings about this. On the one hand, I think it is really nice that they have gone through the trouble of protecting the paint during shipping. However, you can see this bigger and bigger pile of single-use plastic waste I've got, and I'm not a big fan of that. I wish that these companies would find something other than plastic to help protect their paint. This is the 9-in-1 raised bed from Vego Garden, and it is 9-in-1. There are so many different ways to arrange this garden bed, and that is really nice, but it is also, it's kind of bad for somebody with decision fatigue. It was really hard to decide exactly how I wanted to put this together and where I wanted to put it, and the placement and the shape together, along with the other raised beds that I was putting together at the time. It was a lot of decisions to make, and if you want that kind of flexibility, then it's really great. Something I really like about Vego is that they have on their website a 3D tool where you can kind of plan out what your garden's going to look like, place the different sized beds in there, and see how it's going to look, see how it's all going to fit together. Putting this raised bed together was pretty easy. I think it took me something like an hour altogether to do it myself. It goes even faster if you have help. All it is a bolt with a nut and a washer, and you just screw the 2 sides together. This kit does come with a little wrench that fits over the nut so that you can tighten it down. The top 2 nuts on this raised bed are what I call cap nuts. I'm not sure if that's the technical term, but you can see that there's a little cap that goes over the bolt threads. This is really great for preventing scratches as you're moving your hands around in your raised bed. I also like that this raised bed comes with a little rubber cover all the way around the top edge. Another great scratch prevention. The washer and nut actually came as a fused unit for this, and I kind of liked that because it was less fiddling around with pieces in bags as you're trying to put every single piece together. I started out filling this raised bed with some of the excess wood mulch that I had. As you can see, I mulched my entire yard, and I threw a lot of the extra mulch in the bottom of this bed. On top of that, I am adding chicken manure that is from my neighbors. I actually added a few buckets of that, and then I used a rake to kind of combine it with that top layer of wood chips. On top of that, I added a few bags of store-bought compost. Ideally, I would like to make all the compost for something like this, but my operation just isn't big enough to keep up with the demand at the moment. Having the wood chips right underneath everything is going to be really good for 2 reasons. One, it's going to soak up water like a sponge and help keep the raised bed moist even when I haven't watered in a while. And the wood chips are also going to break down over time, adding nutrition to the soil that I didn't have to pay for. On top of the compost, I am adding just simple, cheap topsoil. In a big raised bed like this, I don't see any reason to get anything fancier than that. As a mulch over the top, I decided to add grass clippings for this particular raised bed. I've been experimenting with that in other areas of the garden, and it seems to be working out pretty well. Also, if you like the sleeves I'm wearing, I wear them all the time when I'm working outside. They're UV resistant, scratch resistant. They're from Farmer's Defense, and I have a link down below if you want to grab some of your own. I let those grass clippings sit in the sun for a couple of weeks so that they would dry out, and I continually fluffed them so that they didn't get all compacted and start hot composting on me. And now that they are dry, I am going ahead and planting sweet potatoes in this bed along with some ube. Ube are related to sweet potatoes, but they are this like purple mucusy sweet potato looking thing that tastes a little bit like vanilla, and it's really good for making desserts. In addition to sending me the raised bed, Vego also sent me these little solar lights to review. They are very cute, and I could definitely use a little bit of lighting in my backyard. As I mentioned, I recently mulched the entire thing, so it is more of a walkable hangout space than it used to be, and I think these little path lights are going to be just the thing. The best thing about these is that they are magnetic. They just stick to the side of the raised bed. There's a little button on the back where you can turn them on and off, but installing them is literally as easy as pressing the button and sticking it to the raised bed. Now, since I have a bunch of other raised beds, I really wanted to see if it would work on other brands, and I was only mildly surprised when it seemed to work with pretty much every raised bed I own. Even the Vego one that has got the brand new trapezoidal shape. And this is how it looks at night. I think it looks really nice. These ones give off this cute dappled light when you look real close, and together with my curtain lights, I think it turns the backyard into a really inviting space, even at night. If you're interested in hearing me review all the different raised beds that I have side by side, then check the description below. As soon as that video is available, it will be linked there. Additionally, check back every spring, as I will be going back and reviewing how these different raised beds compare to each other over the long haul. Which ones rust, which ones don't, all that sort of stuff. Thanks for watching, and until next time, happy gardening.